Elon Musk's wit and sharp comebacks make his responses hit hard. Let's dive into some of the best moments where he dismantled woke narratives with ease. Sit back, grab some snacks, and enjoy the ride.
You tweeted this thing about George Soros. You also you said he wants to erode the very fabric of civilization, and Soros hates humanity. Like, when you do something like that, do you
I think that's true. That's my opinion.
Okay, but why share it? Why share it? Especially because, why share it when people who buy Teslas may not agree with you, advertisers on Twitter may not agree with you?
This is freedom of speech. I'm allowed to say what I want.
You absolutely are, but I'm trying to understand why you do, because you have to know it's got to hurt the company. Are there Tesla owners who say, I don't agree with his political position, and I know it because he shares so much of it? Or are there advertisers on Twitter that Linda Yaccarino will come and say, you got to stop, man?
I don't care. I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of that is losing money, so be it.
In this clip, Elon delivers a bold response to woke companies pulling their ads from his platform.
Criticism, there was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger
I hope
today.
they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself.
But
Go yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is.
how do you think then about the economics of X? Part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift. Maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. What do you do?
F-Y.
I understand that, but there's a reality too.
The truth is, Elon's immense wealth gives him the freedom to disregard woke boycotts entirely. He can do whatever he wants without consequence.
The video game gets interrupted by some DEI woke bullshit, and I'm like, Jesus, I was playing a video game here. Can you just leave the video games alone? You don't want to do things that damage art. So it breaks you.
It's wild that some people hate this guy. He's just out here speaking facts. Woke culture is creeping into video games, movies, and other areas that don't need to be changed. It's ridiculous.
Do we want a humorless society that is simply rife with condemnation and hate, basically? At its heart, wokeness is divisive, exclusionary, and hateful. It basically gives mean people a reason. It gives them a shield to be mean and cruel, armored in false virtue.
We don't agree on this.
Yes, you want censorship and I don't.
No, I don't want censorship at
Yes,
all.
you do.
No, I want responsibility.
You want censorship so bad you can taste it.
No, that's not true. I think that there's right and wrong.
That's typically how the bullshit goes. You feel me?
When you have a platform that's as big as yours and as powerful as yours and as influential as yours, that there is a certain responsibility that goes along with what you have on your platform and what you put out to the world. I think that's important.
I think we have a responsibility to adhere to the law, and if people want the law changed, they should go to their elected representative and get the law changed, and then we will adhere to the law. But if you want us to go beyond the law, that is us deciding to be censors. And I'm against censorship. I'm in favor of freedom of speech. And freedom of speech only is relevant when people you don't like.
Absolutely. Social media platforms shouldn't censor content that isn't illegal. If it's within the law, everyone should have the right to share their opinions freely.
I believe that women and minority pilots are inherently less intelligent and less skilled than white male pilots.
No, I'm just saying that we should not lower the standards for them.
Okay, but there's no evidence that standards are being lowered when it comes to the airline industry.
You've repeatedly said that there's no evidence that standards are being lowered, and watch the replies showing all the evidence that it is.
Replies, though, on social media or on Twitter are not necessarily fact and evidence.
No,
that's people's
they will
opinion.
cite
Okay.
In the replies to this, you will see how often the information is cited, showing that indeed there are significant cases where standards are lowered. I believe that Boeing changed to include DEI as a fundamental executive incentive. In my view, it should be purely about passenger safety.
Okay, but do you understand how by saying just that standards are being lowered, that you're implying that they're being lowered because people are less skilled and less intelligent, and you're talking about people of color and or women?
Look, I'm saying we should not lower standards.
But you don't...
If you genuinely believe pilots should be hired based on their skin color or gender, I honestly feel sorry for you. No one wants to board a plane knowing the pilot was chosen because of woke policies rather than skill. Let's be real.
First of all, what is the woke mind virus? And if we don't deal with this, nothing else can get done. Tell me why you think that.
Yeah, so I think we need to be very cautious about anything that is anti-meritocratic and anything that is that results in the suppression of free speech. So, those are two of the aspects of the woke mind virus that I think are very dangerous. You can't question things. Even the questioning is bad. So, another way to almost synonymous would be cancel culture. And obviously, people have tried to cancel you many times.
Many times.
Yeah, I mean,
every week.
Yeah.
From left and right. I've had it from both sides.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. People, you and I are both like in that little group of people. Maybe it's a bigger group now.
Yeah.
Who are called conservative, who haven't really changed. I don't think of you as a conservative.
I'm definitely, yeah. Like, I at least think of myself as a moderate. So I mean, at least I've spent a massive amount of my life energy building sustainable energy. Electric vehicles and batteries and solar and stuff to help save the environment. That's not a.
No.
These days, it feels impossible to say anything online without risking censorship. All I want is to create great videos for you to enjoy, but I have to be super cautious about what stays in, what gets cut.
There used to be a policy, and then it disappeared. Why do that?
Well, it is no longer an issue. Does the BBC hold itself at all responsible for misinformation regarding masking and side effects of vaccinations, and not reporting on that at all? And what about the fact that the BBC was put under pressure by the British government to change its editorial policy? Are you aware of that?
This is not an interview about the BBC.
Oh, you thought it wasn't?
I see now why you've done Twitter Spaces. I am not a representative of the BBC's editorial policy. I want to make that clear.
Get out of here, man. I'm saying.
These reporters, man, they are always so cocky when they get the slightest chance to put someone on the spot. But when they get put on the spot themselves, they just do the usual, I am not responsible for that, cringe.
Because all this controversy, I believe, as you know, has made X less appealing to advertisers. About half of them have left the platform. You call advertisers that left X.com. You said they were oppressors. You've even gone as far as saying it publicly that they can go F themselves or go F themselves.
If they're going to force censorship on the company before advertising, then obviously I find that unacceptable.
You find it unacceptable. Why is that not a form of free speech? They are free to advertise where they want. They're not beholden to. They're not obligated to advertise.
They're not obligated.
On X.com.
Right.
So how is that not free speech?
That's. Whereas the other platforms will censor on behalf of advertisers, the X platform will not.
Okay, so but you think you don't think it's okay for them not to advertise with or have their content or their advertisement next to something that is anti-Semitic or?
That is a different question. You can absolutely choose where next to which content do you want your advertising to appear. Absolutely, of course. And we have, I think, very good ad placement controls in this regard.
Yeah. So you said if they kill the company, it's them. But doesn't the buck stop with you? I mean,
Don, I have to say, choose your question carefully. There's 5 minutes left.
Okay, but so
is this the question you want to ask?
The same question is you said that they are killing the company, but you're the head of the company. The buck doesn't stop with you?
I acquired X in order to preserve freedom of speech in America, the First Amendment, and I'm going to stick to that. And if that means...
Reporters, man, they're so quick to act smug when they get a chance to put someone on the spot. But when the tables turn, they always fall back on the saying tired, I'm not responsible for that routine. So cringe.